It started as a night meant for laughter, love, and a few happy tears. But by the time the sun came up, no one was laughing anymore. The bachelorette party was supposed to be unforgettable. And it was. But not for the reasons anyone expected. Emma had been planning her best friend Lily's bachelorette party for weeks. They'd been inseparable since college. More like sisters than friends. Lily was finally getting married to Mark, a man everyone adored. The wedding was just 2 weeks away, and this was their one big celebration before she became Mrs. Carter. Emma wanted it to be perfect. She booked a cozy lakeside cabin in Vermont, surrounded by tall pines and calm waters. There were fairy lights, music, and enough snacks to last a weekend. The group was small, just 6 women, all close friends. The mood was light and filled with excitement as everyone arrived. Lily looked radiant that evening. She wore a white dress and a small tiara that said bride-to-be. Her laughter filled the cabin, warm and contagious. Emma couldn't help but smile every time she looked at her. They played games, told stories, and reminisced about old times. It felt like nothing could ruin that night. But then, around 9 o'clock, something strange happened. A knock came at the door. Everyone froze. Emma frowned. They weren't expecting anyone. The cabin was isolated. The nearest neighbor was a mile away. Lily joked, "Maybe it's my surprise gift?" Emma laughed nervously and went to open the door. A man stood there, holding a small package wrapped in gold paper. He looked about 30, tall, polite, and strangely familiar. "Delivery for Lily," he said. His voice was calm, almost too calm. Emma hesitated but took the box. "Who sent this?" He just smiled faintly. "You'll find out soon enough." And then he walked away into the dark woods. Everyone stared at the box on the table. "What is that?" asked Julia, one of the bridesmaids. Lily shrugged. "Probably from Mark." She laughed, though her tone carried a hint of unease. Emma handed her a small knife to open it. Inside was a letter and a single silver locket. Lily's hand trembled as she read. The note. Her expression changed from curiosity to shock. "Lily, what's wrong?" Emma asked softly. Lily didn't speak for a moment. Then she whispered, "This can't be real." She handed the letter to Emma. The message inside read, "Before you walk down the aisle, you deserve to know the truth about the man you're marrying." No name, no signature, just that one haunting line. The room went silent. The only sound was the crackle of the fireplace. "Is this some kind of prank?" Julia said, trying to lighten the mood. But no one laughed. Lily held the locket up. Inside was a photo. Mark, smiling, with his arm around another woman. A little girl stood between them. Lily's knees gave way, and Emma caught her before she fell. "Lily, breathe," Emma said, voice trembling. "It could be old. It might not mean what it looks like." But deep down, Emma felt something heavy in her chest, a quiet, uneasy dread. The rest of the night spiraled into confusion. Lily tried to call Mark, but he didn't answer. One of the girls, Tara, said maybe it was an old family photo. But Lily insisted she'd never seen that woman before. They debated calling the police, just in case the delivery was part of something darker. But Emma couldn't stop thinking about the man at the door. The calmness in his eyes. The way he said, "You'll find out soon enough." By midnight, the mood had shifted completely. No more laughter. No more music. Just whispers, questions, and worry. Lily sat near the window, staring at the lake, clutching the locket like it might give her answers. Emma stayed beside her. "We'll figure this out," she promised. Tomorrow, we'll go back home and talk to Mark. Everything will make sense. But Lily didn't respond. She just whispered, "What if I don't want to know the truth?" As the others drifted off to sleep, Emma stayed awake, replaying the night in her mind. At one point, she heard footsteps outside the cabin. She looked out the window but saw nothing. Only darkness and mist. Still, she couldn't shake the feeling that someone was out there, watching. When she finally managed to sleep, the sound of a door creaking woke her. She looked around. Lily's bed was empty. The front door was slightly open, letting in the cold night air. Emma's heart raced. She called out, "Lily?" No answer. She grabbed a flashlight and stepped outside. The lake reflected the moonlight, calm and silent. Then she saw something on the dock. Lily's white tiara, lying in the water. Emma gasped. And that's when she heard a faint voice from the woods, calling her name. Emma froze, her breath visible in the cold night air. The voice was faint but unmistakable. It was Lily's. "Emma." It called again, soft, trembling, almost like a whisper carried by the wind. She tightened her grip on the flashlight and stepped slowly toward the trees. "Lily, where are you?" No reply. Only the rustle of leaves and the gentle lapping of the lake behind her. The beam of light cut through the fog as Emma moved deeper into the woods. Every sound made her heart pound harder. A branch cracking, an owl hooting in the distance. Then she saw it. A glimmer of white ahead. It was Lily, sitting on a fallen log, her dress soaked from the lake, her hands shaking. "Lily." Emma rushed to her. "What happened? You scared me half to death." Lily didn't look up. "I saw him," she whispered. "Who?" "The man from earlier. He was standing near the trees. He said something about Mark." Emma knelt beside her. "You're freezing. Let's go back inside. We'll call the police." But Lily shook her head. "No. He said if I really want the truth, I should look in Mark's old cabin." Emma frowned. "What cabin?" "The one he owned before moving to the city. The cabin by Hollow Creek. He said everything I need to know is there." By morning, everyone was awake and on edge. Lily refused to call off the wedding, but she insisted on going to Hollow Creek. Emma offered to drive. The others stayed behind, too frightened to get involved. The 2-hour drive was silent. The road wound through endless pine forests until they reached a small, weathered cabin by the creek. It looked abandoned. The kind of place no one had visited in years. Lily hesitated before stepping inside. Dust filled the air. Old furniture lay covered in white sheets. But something felt wrong. A faint humming sound came from a back room. Emma pushed the door open and gasped. The room was lined with boxes, photographs, and old letters. On the wall hung several framed pictures, all of Mark, some alone, some with people neither of them recognized. But one photo stopped Lily cold. It was the same picture from the locket. Mark, that same woman, and the little girl. Only this time, a date was written on the back. June 17th, 10 years ago. Lily sat down, staring at the photo. "He told me he never had a family before. He said I was his first real love." Emma placed a hand on her shoulder. "Maybe there's an explanation." "Maybe." But her voice trailed off as she noticed something else. A small box labeled "To be forgotten." Inside were birth certificates, letters, and a marriage license. Lily's eyes widened as she read the names. "Mark Carter and Elaine Carter," she whispered. "They were married." Emma's stomach twisted. "Lily, this means he already has a wife," Lily said faintly. "And a daughter." Tears rolled down her cheeks as she sank to the floor. Emma tried to comfort her, but the weight of the truth was unbearable. Then Lily's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number appeared on the screen. Now you know. Leave before it's too late. Emma's hand trembled. She looked out the dusty window, half expecting to see someone watching them. But there was no one. Only the stillness of the forest. They drove back to the cabin in silence. Lily stared out the window, her engagement ring glinting faintly in the sunlight when they arrived. The others rushed to meet them. What happened? Julia asked. Lily didn't speak. She simply placed the locket and the photo on the table. Everyone went quiet. Emma told them what they'd found. The marriage license, the hidden family, the text message. Tara shook her head. It can't be true. Mark wouldn't do that. That the evidence said otherwise. That evening, Mark called. His voice was calm, too calm. Lily, I think we need to talk. Her voice broke. How could you hide something like that from me? Mark sighed heavily. You don't understand. It's not what it looks like. Please, let me explain in person. Lily refused. No. Whatever you have to say, say it now. There was silence on the other end. Then he said softly, I did love Elaine, but she left. She took our daughter and disappeared. I never told you because I didn't want my past to ruin our future. Lily's tears fell silently. You should have told me, Mark. You should have trusted me. When the call ended, Lily turned to Emma. What do I do now? Emma hugged her tightly. You do what's right for you. Not out of fear. Not out of guilt. Out of truth. The next morning, Lily made her decision. She called off the wedding. A few weeks later, Emma visited her again. Lily had moved to a small apartment in the city, starting fresh. She seemed stronger, quieter, but lighter somehow. I keep thinking about that man who brought the box, Emma said. We never found out who he was. Lily smiled faintly. Maybe someone who thought I deserved to know the truth. Emma nodded. Or maybe someone from your past trying to protect you. Lily looked out the window at the setting sun. Either way, I'm grateful. Sometimes heartbreak saves us from a bigger disaster. The two friends sat together in silence, the pain slowly giving way to peace. What happened that night at the Bachelorette party changed everything, but it also set Lily free. And as the light faded from the sky, Emma realized something. Sometimes the most shocking moments don't destroy us. They reveal who we were meant to be all along. The end.